Hey everyone, I am Robin the Copy Bitch. This is Stewie, my sidekick sloth. And today we are going to talk about how to get copywriting experience. And I'm going to cover 4 ways. Shall we get to it? So you're probably watching this video because you have been hearing about copywriting, or you've been researching what copywriters do, or maybe you have some love of writing and you're trying to figure out a way to make a living and you heard about copywriting. Great. But you're probably thinking, okay, well, I want to do this. I know I can do this, but how the heck do I get experience so that people actually hire me so I can, buy Doritos and wine? So I'm going to give you 4 ways, and we're going to start with the most important one, because you can't become a copywriter until you really understand what copywriting is. Now, it's not hard. You can learn this. If you have basic writing skills and chops, and people have told you you're a good writer, and you know in your gut that you're a good writer, and you're good with grammar and punctuation and deadlines, you can do this. It's learnable. It's definitely a learnable skill, but you do have to learn what copywriting is, how to write a headline, what is, search engine optimization, what's a call to action, all those sort of good things. So the nice thing about learning this stuff is that you can actually get some experience with copywriting, because like most writing courses, you actually have to do some writing in order to understand that. So I'm going to give you 3 places to learn about copywriting, and they will have different requirements in terms of probably the writing that you're going to be doing. So the first place I'm going to give you is actually a free place, and this is where you're going to learn about what content marketing is, what SEO copywriting is, email marketing, and you're not necessarily going to be writing pieces that then get graded by an instructor or anything like that, but it's still a great place to start, and it's free. It's HubSpot Academy. If you've watched any of my videos before, you know I talk about HubSpot all the time. And HubSpot basically coined the term inbound marketing. They've been around since 2006 or somewhere around there. They know marketing. So many businesses use HubSpot as their content management system and for sales. It's good to know HubSpot. Go to it, HubSpot Academy. I'll put a link somewhere around here or down below, and you can check it out. And the courses are not long. Like, you could take some of them in a weekend, and it's just a really great way to get the lay of the land, to learn the jargon. It's going to teach you a lot. They're very intuitive and user-friendly. They might actually have there's definitely quizzes that you take along the way. I don't know if they actually have any writing practicums per se, but it's a great starting point. The other 2 places are places I actually have not taken any courses from. HubSpot Academy, I've taken their certifications before. The other 2 places are organizations I'm familiar with. They do cost some money. It's Copyblogger and AWAI. And again, I will link to them below, or somewhere around here I'll write out the name. And I believe, if I'm understanding correctly, because I've looked at the courses online, that if you do some of these courses, there's going to be more interaction. So you will actually have some feedback from instructors on the writing you're doing, which is great. That's the beauty of education. You're actually learning and then applying what you learn to, a piece of copy, and then you're getting feedback from someone in the business. So that's a great way to get some experience. So that's number 1, education. You can never go wrong with that. Number 2, if you've already done HubSpot and Copyblogger and stuff, you're like, you know what, I just need, I need more experience before maybe you feel confident, or you're trying to get some samples for your portfolio. Think about people who own small businesses or big businesses. Doesn't matter. Just think of people Maybe I almost guarantee some small business owners. You just might not be thinking about it. Like, maybe they have their own catering service on the side, or maybe they are a hairstylist and they just rent a booth out of a salon. Maybe they have a pizza shop. Maybe an acupuncturist. Someone who has a small business. And if you have a small business, you have to market yourself. It's very rare that you don't. So these folks need help with their websites, with their email marketing, with their social media pages. It doesn't, take much to actually go and look at some of these websites and go, yeah, they need some help. So think about the people and then approach them. And this is the only time I ever recommend working for free. Like, I think writers should get paid, but in the beginning, when you're developing your confidence and you're getting some clips, okay. So go to these people and say, hey, I'm, branching out and becoming a copywriter. I'm doing some side hustle in copywriting, and I've been learning a lot. I've taken some courses, and now I want to kind of apply what I've learned to some real life businesses and I would love to do some work completely free for you. I want to do XYZ. What do you say? And be that clear. Like, I think you should limit it to like 3 or 4 things. Maybe say, hey, I'm going to rewrite your homepage. I'm going to do 2 blogs for you. And I'm going to do a bunch of social media posts for Instagram. Whatever it is, you figure that out based on the person and their business. But give them something that's specific. And you know what? Why would they say no? I mean, just be clear and be like, this is, yep, you get this free and clear. It's free. I'm just doing this for the experience. I might use some of the samples on my website. You say like that. And more than likely, they'll be like, yeah, especially if it's like a friend or family member, they're going to be like, yeah, of course. And then after you do those free things, if you're doing your job well, they're going to see the benefit. Like if you've been doing stuff on social media and you're like getting engagement and maybe even getting some business for them, they're like, gosh, I want you to do this more. And then you can actually have that conversation and be like, okay, I'd love to, but let's talk about rates, or here are my rates, or here's what I charge for that. Okay, that's a whole separate subject, and I have videos about that I'll link to below. But again, think about the people who own a business and offer to do some writing for them, and that's a great way to get experience. So that's number 2. We covered education, we covered people small businesses. Along the same lines as number 2, now think about charitable organizations and nonprofits and the volunteer, opportunities that you take part in. Maybe you do some work for a local food pantry, or maybe you do some volunteer work for your church, or maybe you are part of, I don't know. I mean, there's so many different types of charitable organizations and nonprofits out there, and they all need marketing and communications help, especially the small guys. Like, I'm not talking about the American Red Cross or, the big ones like that, but like, think about your local food pantry in your town or in the town next door or whatever. These folks need marketing communications help, and they don't have a budget for it. So they're looking for someone to do it pro bono. Offer to do it. You're giving back, you're doing something good, but you can learn and also get the experience. So, and you might need to guide them. Like, you probably will have to guide them because they're not going to know what they need. But that's a great way to get some skills too, in like project managing and being able to do a content strategy. Just go in and be like, hey, I'm going to revise your homepage. Let's work on your social media. And that's a great way to get experience, okay? And you're doing something good at the same time. So that was number 3. We have education, we have small businesses, and then we have nonprofits and charitable organizations. You only have 3 toes, right? Yeah. Okay, so 4. If you're looking for experience and maybe you just don't know any small business owners, or you're not involved in any charitable organizations, or maybe you've done that and you've exhausted that, the other way to get experience is to just do it, okay? So I bet you get junk email, because everybody gets junk email. The stuff that ends up in your spam box, or just the stuff that, you've subscribed to. It's not even junk. It's just that you're not opening it. Maybe it's for, Groupon, or for a retailer that you've gone to once and now that you're on their mailing list and you just haven't bothered to unsubscribe. You get tons of emails. Look at the subject lines, first of all, and be like, I could write better subject lines, and challenge yourself. Be like, what are 10 subject lines you could have done better, and write them. Just do it. Look at the body copy and see what you would change, and just go ahead and do it. Do the same for websites. I'm sure you've encountered websites where you're like, wow, that's a real crappy website. Put your money where your mouth is and revise it. Like, look at that homepage and what would you do differently, and pretend like it's a client. Just do that. How would you go about doing it? Sometimes the experience you do is just the stuff you do behind closed doors. Like, it's not stuff that anyone's going to see. You're just practicing. It's like going to the gym. It's like that, being in the weight room. You're going through the reps. You're just practicing, and you're getting stronger, and you're building the muscle memory. You're just doing it. So that can be a great way to go about it. To that end, actually. So I'm a fiction writer on the side, and creative writer, and I'm working on novels and stuff. So this is my, if any of you, I don't know if this is going to show up the right way, but it's Save the Cat Writes a Novel, and it's based on Save the Cat Writes a Screenplay. And basically the premise is every story ever written or put on screen can be broken down into 15 beats, B-E-A-T-S, beats. And it's like a blueprint for like telling a story. It's not a formula. Like, you have to read the book to get it. But my point is, you can apply this to any book or movie you see. So I'm reading this, I'm working on a novel, and every time I watch a movie or I read a book, I have this in the back of my head. And I've actually started to like write out the beats and be like, oh, I just watched this movie, and like it really falls into this, and like just to get that practice, to build that muscle memory. So No one's going to see it. I'm just doing it for myself. But my point is, that's a great way to get experience, is to just, every time you get a piece of junk mail, like a direct mailer, I'm sure you get them. I get them. It's for the local dentist. It's for the local pizza shop. It's for the local garden supply store, whatever it is. Look at it, put on that critical thinking cap, have that critical eye, and rewrite it. Just do it, to get experience. Okay? So there you go. 4 places. Education. That's number 1. You will never go wrong with that. And I will link to the places I talked about. But again, HubSpot Academy, Copyblogger, AWAI. Number 2, think of the small business owners you know. Think of family and friends, and ask your family and friends, if you don't know anyone, hey, do you know any small business owners who would let me do some free marketing copy for them? I'm sure someone's going to raise their hand and be like, yeah, because why wouldn't they? Number 3, along the same lines, think of charitable organizations and nonprofits, because especially the small guys, they're always looking for free labor. But they need the help, and they especially need the help with marketing communications. And if they can get someone who actually has some knowledge of content marketing to do some of that work, it's going to be really helpful to them, and you're doing something good. And then number 4 is just do it. As Nike says, and there was a copywriter behind that, let me tell you. You just need to practice. Just do it. All right? So there you go. That's how to get copywriting experience, 4 ways. Again, my name is Robin. I am the Copy Bitch. This is Stewie, my sidekick sloth. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, because that helps us out. And if you are a budding copywriter, consider subscribing to the channel. That also helps me. I'm putting out tons of content. You can check out some of my videos, but I plan on putting out much more. If you have a question, add it in the comments, and maybe I'll address it in an upcoming video. Thanks again for watching. I am Robin. This is Stewie. We're out of here. Bye!